Hi friends, Mindy here. I have a setup video for you today of my book that I'm going to be doing for Fear the Lord. This is the newest kit from Bythewell4God. Today I have decided to do something a little bit different, and I'm going to be making a tag ring. And I have these two tags that are manila, and I was trying to decide between the sizes, and it turns out I'm kind of like Goldilocks. The one was too big and the other one was too small. So I have these dies that I got at scrapbook.com that are just like nested tag dies, and so I'm picking out one of the ones that's going to be most likely the size that I had envisioned for this tag ring, which is this, like the third size down. And I'm going to be cutting out my papers out of that, and then I'm going to create the cover a little bit larger, so I'm going to use that next one up. That way it just kind of protects the pages on the inside, and I'm going to make those out of some chipboard. So I'm just pulling out all the pieces. This set also comes with a little die that does the holes, and it just kind of clips in at the top, so you can get the hole in the exact right spot on the tag. You can also hole punch it if you want to, but it does come with that. So I am just going through my 6x8 papers here, and I'm trying to pick out a variety of the papers that are going to go on the inside. These will be what I work on to add my notes to and everything. My intention actually for going through this particular kit is to do most of my entries in my Bible, but I know that I always take extra notes and stuff, so I wanted to have a little bit some extra room, so I'm going to do that in this little tag ring. So I love this paper, this wood grain paper here, so I'm just counting to make sure I have enough, and then I need some for the covers and then some to put on the inside of the cover too. So I'm just kind of going through and making sure that I have enough, and trying to get a variety as well, a variety of styles and different colors. And so I'm going through, you know, both sides of the paper. There obviously will be some duplicates, but these are the ones that I have chosen to do. So I'm going to take that tag die, and I'm going to make one of those tags out of each one of these papers, and then I will save the scraps from that, and then I will use that in my Bible journaling when I'm actually creating my Bible, or use it to help decorate the tags or whatever. And these are the 2 pages that I have chosen to put on the cover, and then I have 2 pages that I'm going to do will be on the back side of each of the covers, because it wasn't quite big enough to wrap around all the way. So these will be the front and back covers, and I'm going to use a plaid paper for this plaid right here, and I'll basically wrap this around toward the inside, and then use the plaid to cover up on the inside of those covers. I hope that made sense. Anyway, so I'm going to go take these to my Big Shot, and I'm going to cut out all of the different tags that I need. So I also decided while I was cutting out that I was just going to go ahead and do some other textures and things of different kinds of paper. So here I have my tags. My tag dies, I'm just kind of putting them back onto, I cut a piece of magnet, and that's what I store those dies on. So anyway, I have some vellum pieces, I have some Tomo River paper, I have some book text, and then I have a piece of mulberry paper and some patterned vellum. And I just cut a few of each of those just to kind of put in between the other pages, just to kind of give it some interest. It'll almost end up being like a junk journal style tag ring. So I have this big die here. This is going to be the cover, and what I'm going to make my I'm going to make it just a little bit bigger. And so because it's bigger and this is chipboard, I can't use those Thinlit dies to cut it out. So I'm just using the shape of it. So I'm just taking a pencil, and I'm going to trace around the outside of this die, and then I will just cut this out. So again, this is the next size up of those nested dies, so that it's going to be a little bit bigger anyway, but it kind of keeps the shape the same. So I have just taken an old box of this was Wheat Thins, I think, and I used this a lot, these kind of things, for making journal covers. It's just a good weight for a little book like this. So I have them drawn out here, and I am going to just get out my self-healing mat and my X-Acto knife, and I'm just going to also use my Tim Holtz ruler because it has a steel side in it. Anytime you're cutting up against a ruler, it's a good idea if it's a metal ruler with an X-Acto knife. So you can see me here. I'm just going to cut out these tags now using my knife here. Excuse me. And I'm just trying to get everything lined up, so I won't make you watch all that. I just cut those out. And here are my 2 pieces finished. And now I'm going to cover these. So you can see I actually made this paper from the largest die so that I would have it just a little bit bigger so that it could wrap around to the back. Now, it's not as big as I would have liked. I kind of wish I had just cut it out by hand instead of using the tag die to give myself more room. So it got a little tricky, but I was able to do it, but only because the chipboard that I was using was so thin. So if you're going to do something like this, I would suggest for this part, cut it out by hand, just so you make sure you have enough to make it easier when you're wrapping it around. So what I'm going to do is take some double-sided adhesive. This is the scrapbook.com version of score tape, and I have the wide roll, and I'm going to cover the entire back side of this paper, and then I will attach it to the covers. And I'm trying to make sure to get all the way to the edge, and here I'm just trimming it down, and I will cover the entire back side of this paper. I like this adhesive because it's really strong, and I sometimes don't really like using a liquid adhesive when I'm trying to do covers because it can make the paper warp a little bit. You'll see when I'm doing the inside that I end up having to do that, but for the most part I like to use this double-sided adhesive. So here are both of the covers, and they have the glue, the adhesive stuck on the back, and now I'm going to cover using that that pattern paper. So when you're using this double-sided adhesive, it's very sticky. So one of the ways to kind of work around that is if you just sort of pull back just a little bit of the edges. That's what I'm doing here. And I'm just kind of folding it over. You can kind of see I'm just trying to leave myself a little bit of exposed adhesive and then everything else open. And then I just put it down and peel back the adhesive. And I apologize, I lost all of that footage. I do not know. I thought I was recording. Something happened. So anyway, this is what it looks like with all my covers are covered. I wrapped the paper around and put a piece on the inside to cover the exposed area. And now I'm getting ready to punch holes in my covers. I did not use the die to do that because I wanted to make sure that the holes lined up where I wanted them. So I'm just using a regular hole punch, and I'm just taking one of the pages that I hadn't cut out previously and lining it up where I want it to fall in within the cover, and I'm just punching that out. And I'm going to do that with both of the covers, trying to get those holes in the same exact place. Sorry for that footage that I lost. I'm not sure what happened there, but anyway, so these are all my pages. Now I'm just going to kind of mix them up. These are those extra, the book pages and the vellum and the Tomoe River paper, and I'm just going to kind of mix and mingle them. It doesn't really matter. I just wanted to kind of get an idea because I'm going to be putting these on a ring, so they'll be really easy to move around or add things to. I may even make more tags. I'm not quite sure, but this is just kind of a place for me to start. And one of those book pages had like a picture on the back, so I'll probably have to glue something on there. But anyway, it just kind of gives me a jumping off point. Having stuff like this kind of set up ahead of time just makes it a little bit easier. So I have a Felicity Jane ring here, it's just in white, and I loaded my back cover on there, and now I'm adding all of my pages here. There was one that wasn't cut out with the hole, so I had to find it. But anyway, and then I'm just closing that up, and this is my little ring. So I will be able to add, I can move papers around if I want to, but this is what I'm going to be working in alongside my Bible entries this time. So just doing a little quick flip through. There's that vellum paper and some book text here, and that Tomo River paper, just kind of all interspersed in there, and I'm sure it will change around and everything as I'm working through it. But anyway, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and until next time, bye bye.